Which is better, the Bold N1 or the Samsung Galaxy A20? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, coming at you with my comparison between the Bold N1 and the Samsung Galaxy A20. Now I know this is a video that many of you have been looking forward to because I've been getting a lot of comments on my videos asking for it, so here it is. Now the Bold N1 is very new to the market. This device is the first of the new Bold sub-brand that has been created by Blue. So you all know Blue, it's one of our favorite companies, so Bold is owned by Blue. And the Samsung Galaxy A20 has been out for a little while now, but is still very popular and in fact is getting an official US unlocked version of the phone coming out any day now. So this phone is definitely going to be very hot during the holiday season, and I'd imagine the Bold N1 is going to be as well. Now the Bold N1 is currently being offered on Bold's website for a promo price of $199. Now I'm not sure when that promo price will expire. It might expire pretty soon, so definitely check that out. But you can also get this phone on Amazon for $249.99. But again, check out the link in the video description just to verify the current price of the device, because I'm sure it's changed since the time that I made this video. And the Samsung Galaxy A20 international version is currently available on Amazon for $159.99. Now that official US unlocked version of the phone that I was talking about a second ago is supposed to be launching for $249.99, and with that we're getting support for all 4 major US carriers, which I think that price is a little bit overpriced. That's a pretty significant jump going from $159.99 to $249.99, just going from the international to the US version of the phone. So you're gonna have to shop around and see which configuration is best for you for the Galaxy A20. Also, you can get this phone on a variety of different carriers, so you might be able to even buy a carrier-locked version of the device through your existing carrier and save even more money. Now the Bold N1 is pretty simple. It is factory unlocked and it's GSM unlocked, so it's going to work with any GSM carrier in the US. So it'll work with AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile, and Cricket. It'll also work with smaller GSM carriers like Mint Mobile and Straight Talk. Now both phones feature 6.4-inch displays, and they're both AMOLED displays, which you can probably tell because of how bright and clear and good looking the displays are. Seriously though, AMOLED is the way to go, and when the displays are off, the screens are extremely dark, so you're getting very rich colors with both devices. Now the display on the Bold N1 is 1080p, and the display on the Galaxy A20 is 720p. So we get a higher PPI on the Bold N1, but both phones do have good looking displays, but there's no doubt about it, the display on the Bold N1 definitely is better. I mean, it is a very good looking display, probably one of the best displays that I've seen on a budget smartphone in 2019. Now both devices feature 19.5 by 9 aspect ratios, which is a good aspect ratio. That's definitely kind of the way to go nowadays because you can fit a lot more content on the displays. Now the biggest difference, and you've probably noticed this already, is the top of the two phones. So on the Bold N1, there is no notch at all. Instead, we have a pop-up front-facing camera, which you can access by going to the camera app and then simply going to the front-facing camera and it pops up immediately. And then when you switch cameras, that pop-up camera will go down, and the same thing when you leave the camera app. Now this works with any application that requires your camera, so if you're on Instagram and you want to take front-facing Instagram photos, the pop-up camera will indeed pop up. Now the design on the Galaxy A20 is a little bit more old-fashioned, I suppose. However, this style is pretty popular in 2019, so still very relevant, but we are getting a teardrop notch on the top. Now the front-facing camera with the Bold N1 is 13 megapixels versus 8 megapixels on the Galaxy A20. Definitely take a look at both review videos that I've made for these two devices to see very detailed photo and video testing. Now the Bold N1 comes with 128 gigabytes of internal storage with SD card expansion, and with the Galaxy A20 we get significantly less built-in storage with just 32 gigabytes, which really isn't even that bad to be honest. But we also do get SD card expansion, so dramatically more internal storage with the Bold N1. Now the Bold N1 has wireless charging, and there is no wireless charging with the Galaxy A20. We have fingerprint sensors on both phones, but with the Bold N1, the fingerprint sensor is built into the display, another premium feature that is a nice surprise to see with this budget phone. And the Galaxy A20 has its fingerprint sensor located on the back. Now, the fingerprint sensor on the Galaxy A20 is definitely quicker and more accurate, but I really do like having that built-in fingerprint sensor in the display on the Bold N1. Definitely a very new and popular feature that we're seeing more and more in 2019. And it's something you really don't even see that often with budget devices. Now on the back side of these two devices, both have dual camera setups, but there are some major differences. So on the Bold N1, we get a 16 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel secondary camera. It works really well, it takes great photos, and we do get portrait mode. Now with the Galaxy A20, we have a 13 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel secondary camera that is also a wide angle camera. So you can take wide angle photos with the secondary camera on the Galaxy A20, and they actually do look pretty nice. So I'm a big fan of that, and I do wish the Bold N1 had that feature. Of course, we also get portrait mode with this phone as well. Now I do want to show you exactly how much wider photos are with the wide angle lens. So you can see this is how much content fits into the frame right now with these two devices with the standard camera. And then you can see when I switch over to the wide angle camera, how much more fits in the frame. So really would have been cool if the Bold N1 had a wide angle camera, but I suppose that's something that we might want to ask for in the sequel of this phone, which will have to come out in a while from now, I'd imagine, since this literally just came out. With the Bold N1, we get 4 gigabytes of RAM, and with the Galaxy A20, we get 3 gigabytes of RAM. With the Bold N1, we get the MediaTek Helio P70 processor, and with the Galaxy A20, we get the Exynos 7904 processor. Now I did run an Antutu benchmark test with both devices here, so let me pull this up on both phones, and you can compare the scores here. Here are the scores. So with the Bold N1, we get a score of 145, 545, and with the Galaxy A20, we get a score of 109008. And then for the CPU scores, we get on the Bold N1, 60754, and on the A20, we get 48155. So decently close scores with the CPU, but you can see here that overall, the score for the Bold N1 is a bit better than the score on the Galaxy A20. Now, I'm not totally surprised considering that the Bold N1 is a bit more expensive than the A20. However, if someone is dumb enough to pay $249.99 for the US unlocked version of the Galaxy A20, then they're going to be spending the same amount of money as the Bold N1. So if you're going to do that, then just get the N1. Now, video recording on both phones maxes out at 1080p at 30 frames per second, pretty standard. On the Bold N1, we get a beefy 3,500 milliamp hour internal battery, and on the Galaxy A20, we get an even beefier 4,000 milliamp hour internal battery. Both phones feature Android 9 Pie, but the experiences are very different. On the Bold N1, we get a stock experience here, or very stock at least, with very minor modifications. And on the Galaxy A20, we get Samsung's thick with 2 C's skin. We even have Bixby built in, which I really do not care for, so I didn't even activate it. But the good news though about Samsung's skin is that it is nicely optimized, so you will get smooth performance, so I can't have too much of an issue with that, I suppose, but I do prefer stock Android. And what's really cool about the Bold N1 is that Bold has pledged to upgrade the phone to Android 10 as soon as they can. Now, I have no idea when that's going to be. They did not commit to a date for that upgrade, but they did say it's coming, so that's definitely something that I like a lot. And with the Galaxy A20, they have not talked about when or if or ever this phone will ever be updated to a newer version of Android. So some pretty big differences though with the front panels in these two phones. Really nice that they both have AMOLED technology, and you can see though how much different the tops are with no notch at all on the Bold N1. Now on the bottom, both phones do have a little bit of a chin, but it is a bit smaller on the Bold N1. Now taking a look on the left side here of both devices, we have slots for the microSD card and SIM card. Then on the right, we have the volume button and power button, so pretty similar designs. Now on the Bold N1, we have this nice metal band going around the device, and on the Galaxy A20, we have a plastic band. Now both phones do feel of good quality, so that's good at least. Now on the top of the two devices, there are some differences. Both have noise canceling microphones, but on the Bold N1, we do have the pop-up front-facing camera. Then on the bottom of the two phones, they both have USB-C for charging and data transfer, something that I'm very happy to see there. They both have a speaker, they both have the microphone, and they both have the 3.5mm headphone jack. Then on the back side of the two devices, they both kind of have this glossy finish here, a little bit darker on the Bold N1, and it's more gray on the Galaxy A20. Both look nice though. They both have the camera module and the flash. And then of course on the Galaxy A20, we do have the fingerprint sensor. Let's now do a speed test comparison with these two devices, starting with the camera application. So 1, 2, 3, go. And it looks like it's about the same on both phones. Let's now go to Google Chrome. 1, 2, 3, go. And definitely faster on the Bold N1 at pulling up Google Chrome. Let's go to yahoo.com. 1, 2, 3, go. And faster on the Bold N1, but the Galaxy A20 didn't do too bad of a job at all at keeping up. Let's go to Engadget.com. 1, 2, 3, go. And for Engadget, it looks like the Galaxy A20 was quicker at pulling up the website. Not sure why that is, but that's how it is. We'll do some scrolling now. Looks like scrolling is super smooth on the Bold N1. And we'll do some scrolling on the A20. Very smooth as well. So I'm happy with the web browsing experience on both phones. Let's go to this article. 1, 2, 3, go. Looks like the Bold N1 is quicker at pulling up the article. We'll do some pinch to zoom. And both phones have very smooth zooming, so very awesome. So I'm really interested to know your thoughts about these two devices, especially after watching this video. Would you rather go with the Bold N1 or the Galaxy A20? Now, unless you're buying the US unlocked version of this phone, you are going to be spending more money on the Bold N1, but I'm interested to know if you think it's worth the extra money. I personally think it is. However, if you want to play it a little safer and not have a built-in fingerprint sensor or a pop-up camera, then the design of the Galaxy A20 is definitely probably going to be a bit more reliable and practical. But not everyone's looking for that. Sometimes people are looking for change. And if you want change and you want to kind of break away from a more mainstream design with a budget smartphone, then you might want to go with the Bold N1. But I do like both phones. Both are probably my two favorites at the moment. I think it's hard to really pass up the nice looking display with no notch at all on the Bold N1. So if I had to pick one of the two to use indefinitely, I think I'd go for the Bold N1. But the Galaxy A20 still is a very nice device. And if you do buy the international version of the phone, you will be saving a considerable amount of money on it versus buying the Bold N1. So it really depends on your budget. That's another big thing. But I'm really interested to know what you prefer. But thanks for watching this video. If you're looking to buy either of these two phones, take a look at the link in the video description where you can check them out on Amazon. This is Kevin here, and I will see you in the next video.